For centuries, drownings in Eastern Europe weren't considered accidents, but instead were the work of the Vodyanoy. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany, and make sure you hit that subscribe button as we dive into these mysterious water creatures. The Vodyanoy is a water spirit that is found in rivers and lakes in Russian and Slavic legend. They enjoy playing cards, smoking a wooden pipe, and dragging innocent victims into their swamps. They're usually represented as a grandfather-like merman with a frog-like face, long beard, scaly green skin, and the tail of a large fish. They're typically male and are attended to by naiads or an aquatic wife or both. Vodyanoy typically stay close to the water and can be found floating in rivers, streams, or ponds on a half-sunken log. They prefer rivers with strong currents or swamps. They're seen as protectors of nature as they will break dams and destroy water mills. They will also drown people and animals. Fishermen, millers, and even beekeepers would make sacrifices to try to appease the Vodyanoy. They're known to drag their victim down to their underwater realm and turn them into slaves for all eternity. Anyone who is bathing after sunset, at midday, at midnight, on a holy day, or without making the sign of a cross before entering into their territory, they prefer to attack inexperienced swimmers, but will also place ribbons or hand mirrors near the banks of the river to entice fishermen before attacking. Any physical damage found on a body as someone who had drowned was actually considered that they had taken a beating from a Vodyanoy. Russian villagers believed that anyone who dared approaching a body of water after dark would risk a Vodyanoy attack. It's said that the Vodyanoy appears in a human form with long toes on their feet, with paws instead of hands, with two fair-length horns on their head, a tail back, and with eyes burning like red-hot coal. He can also appear as overgrown grass, a man in a red shirt walking along the shore, a pig, or a large fish. In Czech, Slovenian, and Slavic folklore, the Vodyanoy appears a little different and is actually known as a vodnik. These can be either good or evil and appear more human, except they have gills, webbed fingers, and pale green hair. Their main goal is to trap the souls of drowned people into porcelain lid-covered cups. They look at these cups as a form of currency. The number of cups a Vodyanoy has actually represents their wealth or status to other Vodyanoy. If the lid of the cup is removed, the soul will simply float away and escape in the form of a bubble. It's common for the vodnik to marry drowned or disinherited women, although they will sometimes target happily married women. And every time a human woman gives birth to a Vodyanoy's child, he will leave the swamp to request the services of a midwife. And the midwife will be paid generously in gold and silver. I wonder what the midwife thinks when she delivers that baby. Vodyanoys are believed to hibernate during the winter, and when they awaken, they crush the ice and disperse it. If they happen to be in a good mood, they will guide fish into fishermen's nets or warn them of floods. In some cases, fishermen would put a pinch of tobacco on the surface of the water in hope that the Vodyanoy would give them fish in return. At night, they leave the water to let their sea cows and sheep graze on the surrounding land. Vodyanoys are masters of shapeshifting and will use this trick to guide unsuspecting victims into drowning, becoming his slave, or eating them. They are believed to be a later incarnation of a pagan demon. Right up until the 19th century, people in Russia, Ukraine, Serbia, and other Slavic countries would make sacrifices to the Vodyanoy, which demonstrates the belief alongside Christianity. This also speaks to the fact that the Vodyanoy will attack if you swim on holy days or if you don't wear a crucifix or cross yourself before approaching the river. One of the legends of the Vodyanoy goes like this. During the reign of Tsar Nicholas I in the mid-19th century, there lived a farm laborer with 3 sons. The youngest, Ivan, was foolish and lazy. When it was time to mow, he dropped his scythe and slept in the hay. When it was time to fish, he paddled around the lake and didn't even cast his net once. One cold, dark spring night, Ivan was returning home from a nearby village. His boots were thick with mud. He walked through the fields until he heard the rushing rivers, swollen with melted snow, and approached it to cross. A voice called to him from the river. "I have woken from my winter sleep. Give me a tribute, and I shall carry you to the other side on my back, unharmed." Ivan replied, "River King, I have nothing, but I would like to be carried anyway." A creature emerged halfway from the water. His eyes burned red, but his skin was the color of the river, and his beard was like the moss. Ivan grew frightened as he saw white ice bobbing in the torrent. Before he could make the sign of the cross, the cold water rose up and pulled him in. The next day, Ivan's father looked into the river. There, under the water, he would see his son, his arms and backs lacerate, his neck and face swollen blue and purple. But Ivan was working as he never had on land before, tilling the riverbed and pulling heavy rocks for the Vodyanoy. Over centuries, Slavic folk traditions have faded in the face of political disruptions, revolution, and generational shifts. But the legend of the Vodyanoy endures and is still circulating among Russians and Eastern Europeans of all ages. Most agree that the Vodyanoy are malicious. And if the tale is still so prevalent, maybe there really is something in the water. I'm curious if in the legends, Ivan is almost targeted because he is not a hard worker. So I'm curious if the Vodyanoy only targets people that are not hardworking, or if it's just anybody that falls on those specific days or doesn't make the sign of a cross. I don't think, it would be really cool to see one, but I probably wouldn't enjoy it. I don't know what I would think, like seeing this frog-like lizard man coming out of the water. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video, make sure you're subscribed, and until my next one, I love you guys. Bye.